Hi, my name is Michael. I'm from New York City and I am living with McArdle disease. This is my patient story about exercising during a pandemic, specifically climbing stairs and learning to love them. Now, ever since my diagnosis, which was 13 years ago, I've really grown to understand how important it is for those of us with McArdle's to condition our muscles, but I've also learned how tricky that can be. Before the pandemic hit in New York City, so before March of 2020, I'd really made an effort to follow a fitness regimen. I had a fairly active lifestyle. I was going to the gym about 5 to 6 times a week. And at the gym, that would typically involve walking on a treadmill, as well as some careful weight training and using, the techniques that I'm sure some of you are very familiar with, such as, getting into second wind, and also being careful to use the 6 second rule, so not to do anything heavy for more than 6 seconds. In addition to that, I commuted daily to work using public transport, taking the subway, which involved lots of stairs, and also a fair amount of walking on surface streets. So with the lockdowns and gym closures brought on by the pandemic, I was really searching for a way to maintain my level of fitness. The period from mid-March to May was particularly cruel in New York City, with officials advising us to shelter in place. So that made even leaving the house difficult. So walking around the neighborhood, even that was not so easy. So with few other options, I looked at the stairwells in my building. While it's true that, those of us who live in urban environments are accustomed to stairs, like I was saying, in the subway, daily occurrence, for me at least, I've also, since I have McArdle disease, I would say I'm fairly traumatized by stairs. Maybe that's putting it lightly. I have my own sort of stair stories, of just so many examples of, having difficulty on stairs. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. Maybe we could all sit and share our stair stories at some point. But also, yeah, ongoing. There are all these scenarios I've thought over the years of, well, wouldn't that be terrible? Like, for example, if you're in some medieval tower and you're climbing upstairs and you have a trail of people trying to pass. These really terrible scenarios that I've thought about over the years. So in any case, I approached this stair exercise with some trepidation, putting it mildly. Our apartment is on the fourth floor of a 17-story building, and there are 3 stairwells in the building that are rarely used, which is great. Prior to the lockdown, I'd really only ever used the stairs to go down because going up, well, that's what elevators are for, right? But at the top of the building, there is a very nice roof terrace with, views onto, the neighborhood below. So I really wanted to, that first day that I thought about going up the stairs, I thought, well, I really want to go up to the roof and see what it's like to, to look out, to see how the neighborhood is doing. But I was really curious because I knew I could make it up to the roof. I just wasn't sure how long it would take. But at the same time, I was in no hurry. I was going at my own pace. There was no one, behind me, trying to force me to go up. So yeah, I was very curious. And what I found was that first day, once I got into the stairwell, I was able to go 3 or 4 stories without stopping. But I did stop after the 3rd or 4th story, and from there, I could go up 2 flights and stop, 2 flights and stop, etc., until I reached the top. And once I reached the top, I really felt there was a sense of accomplishment. But at the same time, I knew I was not in second wind, and I really did not feel like I'd had a proper workout. So I thought, well, how can I extend this workout? What else can I do? I'm at the top already. So then I thought, well, instead of just going home, why don't I see about, going extending this. So I found that I could go down 2 floors, turn around and go up those 2 floors and repeat that exercise. So 2 floors down, 2 floors up. And pretty soon I felt like I was in second wind. So I felt, well, this is actually something. I'm actually accomplishing something. And I did that generally maybe 8 or 10 times total. So what I mean by that is, multiply that by 2. So 2 flights down, 2 flights up, for a total of maybe 16 or 20 flights total. And that felt great. And I really thought, well, I'm really exercising now. But soon thereafter, I thought, well, what else can I do? I really want to keep going. These stairs actually aren't so bad after all. So I thought, well, let's do another test. Let's see if I go down all the way to the ground floor and turn around. Now that I'm in second wind, how many floors can I go up without stopping? And how does that differ from, just starting out, like I was saying earlier, I could do 3 or 4 and then rest right when I started the workout. Well, now at this point, I'm in second wind. So how does that differ? And what I found was, not surprisingly, I could do more because I was in second wind. So those first few days, I could go up 6 flights without stopping at the end of this workout. But that soon became, 7, 8, 9. And I was really excited by this progress because I just couldn't believe I could do so many flights without stopping. Until one day in August, I actually could do all 16 flights, so from ground floor up to the roof, without any stopping. And I will always remember that day. It really felt like an out-of-body experience. Like, this can't be happening to me. My whole life, I would have never thought I could do that. And, but I could do it, and I could do it again and again and again. So that started to really become my baseline. I was doing, 16 flights nonstop at the conclusion of this, stair workout every single day. And I don't think I would call myself a competitive person, but I became competitive with myself. And I started timing myself and really seeing that I was actually getting faster and faster throughout these days as well. So that was really heartening. And it was really fulfilling. So just to reiterate, the 3 components of this workout, the first part was the initial climb, so from my apartment up to the roof. The second part was getting into second wind, so going down 2 floors, turning around, going back up 2 floors, and repeating that until I really felt like I was in second wind, and taking breaks when necessary. Whenever my body told me that I needed to stop, I would. And then the third part was, the kind of final stretch, which was the check, the kind of seeing how many floors I could do without stopping. And sort of the end result of this was I was climbing about 50 stories every single day. And by listening to my body, I was really able to push myself, but always taking care to rest when I needed to. And this was crucial, really. I felt very fortunate in that, in the 13 years since my diagnosis, I really felt like I now am really able to listen to my body, to kind of stop when I need to, but also to push and to see, can I get better? And in my case, yes, like I was able to improve my muscle conditioning. So I also was really heartened to see, after several months of doing these exercises, I had my annual physical, and I found that my CK levels dropped fairly significantly from my prior tests. So that was another kind of reassurance that doing these exercises was really beneficial for my health. I really grew to love these workouts. During the months of the lockdown, the roof really became almost like a refuge for me. I loved being up there. I started, taking photos of the really strange conditions that were happening. Typically the streets below are really noisy and choked with traffic. It's Manhattan. But during this time, it was eerie and silent and beautiful in its own way. And it was, at the beginning it was very cold up there, but gradually spring and summer came and it became almost like a paradise up there for me, just to sort of sit up there and safely, enjoy being outside and getting exercise. It was a great combination. So what did I learn through all this? Well, during, lots of trial and error, clearly, but I learned that my best performance was really first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, so in the overnight fasted state. However, I was aided by, lots of black coffee, which to me is very important. Maybe that was the most important thing during this workouts. I tried once to do a workout after eating lunch, and that was actually a very difficult experience for me. It was very painful. I was cramping. I think I actually abandoned the workout, went home and said, I'll do this tomorrow morning. So that was interesting to see, and I think it's important for all of us to kind of do these trials and errors safely, to see what works best for you, because I know everyone's different. I also found music was very important for me during these workouts, specifically something really loud and with a beat. For me, that meant techno. It really elevated my mood and gave me sort of a push to really help me go upstairs. So, my relationship with stairs is now forever changed, and that's great. I was saying before, I have been traumatized by stairs. Stairs have, been very difficult for me in the past, I think for all of us. But this was really exciting for me because it really, the stairs, became almost like a friend. It was just this, it was amazing to me that I was able to really, listen to my body, but use the stairs to get stronger. And I think it gave me a lot of confidence in doing that. I'm really not an athletic person, but just seeing these improvements I was making, I was so dumbfounded along the way. And that's really continued. I really feel like I have a new attitude now about fitness, about our ability to improve. And for that, I'll be, forever thankful. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much. And yeah, this is my story.